Did you guys catch the back and forth with Jake Paul and Eddie Hearn? They're at a press conference. Two girls are getting ready to box. One of the gals is the one that Jake has been looking out for. As a matter of fact, when Jake got done with Woodley, Jake came out and told everybody, hey, I'm taking my oars out of the water as far as competing. I'm not looking for opponents. I'm not training right now. I'm not getting in there. I'm going to go be with her. I'm going to help to build her up. I want to say her name is Amanda, but forgive me. At any rate, she's going to fight Madison Square Garden. Weigh-ins were today. Fights tomorrow. Jake's there, build her up, and she's going to take on one of Eddie Hearn's athletes. Now, Jake's gal happens to be the favorite. Very relevant. Because Jake and Eddie get in a back and forth, and before you know it, they've made $1 million bet. They have not only publicly made $1 million bet, they've shook on it publicly. I can tell you that's an extremely big deal. If you don't understand that concept, trust me, this is a big deal. That means you got to bet. This is on. You're going to put up the money or you're going to say goodbye to your reputation. This is a big deal. Now, you're first going to ask, okay, if you guys didn't see this and you're just hearing me tell the story, you're going to say, well, Chael, was that serious? You've got two workers up there and they're promoting and they're trying to build something. And clearly it worked because here you are talking about it. Fair question. Yes, it was real and sincere. My evidence for that is that Eddie Hearn was very cautious. He even tried to get out of the bet. Like, he had to take the bet the way that it was proposed, and they started with all the jewelry Jake was wearing. Well, who's got a value on that? What the hell are you going to do with that? And so Eddie makes a joke and says, what, you have $10,000? Puts him down, and Jake's like, I'm wearing $90,000. Whatever it was, it goes back and forth, and all of a sudden they got a $500,000 bet. Then they double it. It's $1 million, and now it's shook on. Now, the reason I say that it was real, because first off, it was a little bit clumsy. This wasn't rehearsed and planned out. And second, Eddie didn't fully want to do it. In fact, when Eddie agreed, which he kind of had to do, you know what I mean by he kind of had to do? There was some pressure. There was some eyeballs. He needed to back his athlete. He's trying to build something. It's one of these things where he kind of had to agree, but then Eddie Hearn even said, well, we'll have to get some paperwork together. Like, he was looking for a little bit of wiggle room. He was looking for a little bit of room of, hey, we've done our bit. The camera's got it. The soundbite's there. Let's get in the back and you and me will work this out, including me telling you that I was just performing for the cameras. Are we good? And everybody walks away. My interpretation. But I'm right on that. It was something along these lines. The other side of the coin is Cammy. Is Eddie Hearn, who is the promoter of record in New York for said event, allowed? I don't know the rule on that. I defer back to like the Pete Rose situation. And I know that blew up in Pete's face, but then you have the question of, well, what if you're betting on your athlete? That is a little bit different. And I know that Dana only made a bet one time on his athlete, but he was not the promoter. It was on Chuck Liddell to beat Rampage, but they went over to Japan and Pride was putting the whole thing on. Dana was just a guest. None of that is evidence to the law. I could have called Kim Sumbler in New York and just simply asked her, we're not looking to make a big deal about this. Whatever these guys are doing, we understand it. It was Hail Fellow Mel Wet. Nobody's looking to break rules. I'm just asking you. It happened. It was meaningful. Jake got Eddie Hearn to shake on $1 million bet. Oh, and by the way, Jake's gal is the favorite. Even money? You can't get that at the window. It's the point of having a favorite or having an underdog. You couldn't have got better action than what Jake got Eddie to commit to and shake on. So I'm just asking you. I mean, right, I know realistically none of us are out going to make $1 million bet if he was in his spot, but you do understand how the line works. You do understand that you go up to any window, you go up to any sports book, you can't get even money. Oh, and by the way, when you're the one making the bet, you're the one offering, you're the one throwing out the number, you're the one pressuring, and you get even money. Oh, and by the way, you get the favorite. It's a great job by Jake, and it was good marketing. It was good promotion. It sounds like an interesting match. They're fighting in Madison Square Garden. I assume this is the main event, these two gals. I would be very curious if that's sold out. I don't know where in the world the sport of women's boxing is. I thought it was a very good sign that you got promoters like Paul, you got Eddie Hearn, you got this big press conference, you got the Mecca. Like, it feels like a lot of the right pieces were here. Feels like an ignorance on my part, so I'm sincerely asking the question. I assume that's the feature match. At least it is for me. Well, these two drummed up have me more interested in anything else I know that's going on the card. Are they allowed? Is it legal? Are they allowed to bet? Are they allowed to bet as it pertains to being the promoter of record? Can you bet on your athlete if you're taking your athlete to win?